Hey, before we get into anything, I just need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest with me. When was the last time you looked at your bank account and felt okay? Not stressed, not anxious, not doing that thing where you added up 3 times hoping the number changes. Just okay. If you had to think about that for more than 2 seconds, keep watching, because what I'm about to show you is going to explain something that you have probably felt in your gut for a long time, but nobody has been willing to say out loud. See, they keep telling us the economy is strong, unemployment is low, the market is up, things are recovering, and every time you hear that, you look at your own life and think, so why doesn't that feel true? Why does everything cost more? Why does the paycheck run out before the month does? Why does it feel like something is quietly falling apart? You are not imagining it. You're not bad with money. You're not alone. What you are feeling, that quiet pressure, that low-grade dread, is the early tremor of something much bigger, something this country has been trying very hard not to name. Today, we're naming it. I've broken this down into 10 signs, and they go from uncomfortable to alarming to something that will completely change the way you see the world you're living in. Stay until number 1, because that one, I promise you, is the one nobody is talking about. And once you hear it, you won't be able to unhear it. Number 10, the moment buying groceries started feeling like a crisis. Okay, so let's start with something super simple. Something you probably did this week. You went to the grocery store, and here's what I want to know. Did you put something back? Did you stand in an aisle doing mental math, trying to figure out what you could live without? Did you choose the smaller size, the off-brand, the good enough option? Because the thing you actually wanted felt like too much? If that sounds familiar, you are not being dramatic. That experience has a name, and that name is financial pressure at the most basic level. Grocery prices in America have surged at a rate that most families have never experienced in their lifetime. We're not talking about luxury items here. Eggs, bread, chicken, butter, the things your grandmother could buy with pocket change. They now require a decision. And here's the part that really gets me. Food banks across this country are seeing record numbers, but not from who you might expect. They're seeing teachers, nurses, construction workers, parents with full-time jobs, people doing everything right, and still needing help to feed their families. Think about what that means. A job used to be enough, is no longer enough. That is not a personal failure. That is a system breaking down in real time, right in the cereal aisle, right at the checkout line. Now, the grocery store, that's just where you feel it. Number 9 is where you lose it. Because what's happening to people's homes right now is something that I genuinely did not think was possible in this country. And it's happening to people exactly like you. Number 9, the home you were promised no longer exists. Can I tell you something that I think about a lot? My parents' generation was told a very specific story. Work hard, save a little, buy a house. That's it. That was the whole plan. And for most of them, it actually worked. That story is dead. Right now, the average home price in America has reached a level where even a household earning 6 figures in many cities cannot qualify for a mortgage on a modest home. Let me say that again, 6 figures. Can't afford a basic house. So what happens to everyone earning less than that? They rent, and rent has exploded. People are spending 50, 60, sometimes 70% of their take-home pay just to keep a roof over their head. That's not building a life. That's just surviving the month. And then there's the part the news barely covers. The people living in their cars. Not people who gave up. Not people who made terrible decisions. People with jobs. People with phones. People who set an alarm every morning, go to work, come back, and park somewhere quiet so nobody notices. This is not rare. This is happening in cities across America right now. A whole generation, your generation, was handed a broken ladder and told to climb it anyway. No home, no stability. But here's what makes it impossible to escape. Number 8 is the financial trap that's been quietly closing around millions of Americans. And the scariest part? Most people have no idea how deep in they already are. This one stopped me cold when I looked at the numbers. Number 8, the debt trap that is swallowing America one family at a time. Let me ask you something personal, and I want you to actually think about this. Don't just move past it. If you lost your income tomorrow, not next month, not next week, tomorrow, How many days could you actually survive before things got critical? Take a second. Really think about it. Here is what the data says about most Americans. The answer is less than 30 days. For a frightening number of people, less than 2 weeks. Research consistently shows that a huge portion of Americans cannot cover a single unexpected expense of just $400 without borrowing money. $400. One car repair, one ER copay, one broken appliance, and it sends people spiraling. Now combine that with this. Credit card debt in America has crossed $1 trillion. Not billion, trillion. And the average interest rate on that debt, around 27%. So people are borrowing money they don't have to pay for things they need right now, at interest rates that make it mathematically nearly impossible to pay back. That is not a debt. That is a cage. A very expensive, very legal cage that millions of American families are locked inside of right now. And every month that passes, the walls get a little closer. Trapped in debt. No savings. And now here's the plot twist that makes this whole thing even more maddening. Number 7 is about the jobs. And what I'm going to tell you next is something that will make you rethink every single time someone told you to just work harder. Number 7, the jobs are real. The lie is what they promise. Here's something I want you to sit with for a second. The unemployment rate in America is low. That part is actually true. There are jobs out there. People are working. So then why, with all those jobs, are tens of millions of Americans still struggling to survive? Because here is what the unemployment number does not tell you. It does not tell you what those jobs pay. The federal minimum wage in this country has not been raised in over a decade. Think about that. Everything around it, rent, food, healthcare, gas, childcare, has exploded. The wage? Frozen. Like time stopped in 2009 and nobody told the economy. The result? People working 3 jobs, 3 separate employers, 3 schedules, 3 commutes, and still qualifying for government food assistance. Let that land. 3 jobs, government food stamps, at the same time. And then there's the gig economy, which was supposed to be the answer. Flexibility, independence, be your own boss. What it actually delivered was no health care, no sick days, no retirement, no protection, and no guarantee that this week's earnings cover this week's bills. The jobs exist, but they were designed, whether intentionally or not, to keep people just functional enough to keep showing up. Not thriving, not building, just surviving. That's not an economy working. That's an economy extracting. The work isn't paying off. And now I need to tell you what that constant financial pressure actually does to a person. Because number 6 is not about money at all. It's about what happens inside your mind and body when you live like this for months, for years. This part of the conversation is one most people never have, and it might be the most important thing in this entire video. Number 6, what financial collapse does to a person on the inside. I want to step away from the statistics for a second, and I want to talk to you, not at you, because I think there's something that doesn't get said enough about what it actually feels like to live under this kind of pressure. Not what it looks like on a chart, what it feels like at 3 a.m. It feels like a weight on your chest that never fully lifts. It feels like going through normal moments, a birthday, a Sunday morning, a laugh with a friend, and having this quiet voice in the background reminding you that you haven't figured it out yet, that something is wrong, that something might break. That feeling has a name: financial anxiety, and it is absolutely destroying people. Depression and anxiety in America are at the highest recorded levels in history. Addiction, alcohol, pills, anything that turns the volume down for a few hours, is rising sharply. And suicide rates are climbing, with economic despair listed as one of the primary drivers. But here's what nobody talks about. People are suffering in silence. Because in America, struggling with money feels like shame. So they smile at work, they post normal things online, and they fall apart alone where nobody can see. Marriages end over money, not because people stopped loving each other, because the pressure became too much to carry together. Children grow up watching their parents terrified, absorbing that fear into their nervous systems, and carrying it forward into their own adult lives. This is not a mental health crisis separate from the economic one. They're the same crisis. One is just invisible. The toll on people's minds is catastrophic. But now I'm going to take this somewhere darker, because number 5 is about what happens when a person who is already financially broken gets sick. And the American healthcare system meets them at their most vulnerable moment with a bill that ends them. I need you to hear this. Number 5, getting sick in America can legally destroy your entire life. Here is a sentence that should never be true in any wealthy country. I can't afford to go to the doctor. In America, it is one of the most common sentences spoken. People are rationing insulin, literally cutting their doses in half, because a full month's supply costs more than their car payment. People are skipping recommended surgeries, avoiding diagnoses they suspect, because knowing would mean bills they cannot pay, choosing to live with pain rather than live with debt. Medical bankruptcy is a uniquely American phenomenon. It barely exists in other developed nations. Here, it is the leading cause of personal bankruptcy. One hospital stay, one cancer diagnosis, one accident, and 40 years of building a life can be legally erased. Every single dollar gone. Over 25 million Americans have zero health insurance. Tens of millions more are underinsured, meaning they have a card in their wallet. That gives them a false sense of security until the bill arrives and they realize the coverage barely covered anything. Children going without glasses because an eye exam costs too much. Adults skipping cancer screenings because they cannot risk what the follow-up might cost. Not in some country we read about in textbooks. Here, now, this year, when money determines whether you receive medical care, you have not built a healthcare system. You have built a marketplace where survival is a product, and not everyone can afford to buy it. Healthcare is failing people at the worst possible moment. But here's what I really need you to understand. All of this, every single sign we've covered so far, is not falling equally on everyone. Number 4 reveals who is bearing the heaviest load. And when you find out which group is being crushed hardest, it's going to completely reframe everything you've seen in this video. Number 4, the backbone of America is snapping under the weight. For most of the last century, if you ask someone what made America different, what made it worth believing in, the answer most people gave was the middle class. Not the billionaires, not Wall Street, the teacher, the mechanic, the nurse, the small business owner, the person who worked hard and got to live a decent, stable, dignified life. That was the promise. That was the proof. That proof is collapsing. Over the past several decades, the share of Americans living in middle-income households has declined dramatically, and the people leaving the middle class are not moving up. They are sliding down into insecurity, into debt, into the conditions we have been walking through in this video. The teacher working a second job on weekends. The family that looks fine from the outside but hasn't been able to save $1 in 2 years. The couple that both have careers and still cannot afford a down payment on a house. These are not edge cases. These are the new normal. And here is what matters most. The middle class was not an accident of history. It was deliberately constructed through policy, through unions, fair wages, affordable education, accessible health care, and is being just as deliberately dismantled, policy by policy, quietly, over decades, while most people were too busy trying to survive to notice. The middle class is being erased. But here's the question you should be asking right now. If millions of people are losing ground, where exactly is all that money going? Number 3 follows the money. And what we find at the end of that trail is going to make this entire collapse make sense in a way that will genuinely disturb you. Number 3, the money didn't disappear. Here's exactly where it went. I want to walk you through something. Because one of the most common things people say when they learn about economic inequality is, where did it all go? Where does the money go? I want to show you. During the height of the pandemic, when Americans were losing jobs, losing businesses, losing loved ones, something else was happening simultaneously. American billionaires added hundreds of billions of dollars to their combined net worth. Same country, same crisis, completely opposite outcomes. How? Because the rules of the economy, the tax codes, the bailout policies, the labor laws, the regulations were written over decades by people who had a very specific outcome in mind. And that outcome was not you. Corporations post record profits one quarter and announce mass layoffs the next. Not because they're struggling, but because cutting costs makes the stock price go up. And when the stock price goes up, the executives get bonuses. CEOs now earn on average more than 300 times what their median worker earns. Not 3 times, 300 times. And when corporations make catastrophic bets and face collapse, Congress moves fast, bailouts get approved, the losses get socialized. But when you face collapse, when you lose your job, your home, your savings, the answer you get is work harder, spend less, figure it out. One set of rules for the top, a completely different set for everyone else. The money didn't disappear. It was redirected, legally, systematically, for decades. Follow the money and you find the system. But here's the part that breaks my heart, and I mean that, because number 2 is not about adults who can fight back, make choices, or vote for change. Number 2 is about the people in this country who had absolutely no say in any of this. And what is being done to them right now is something this country should not be able to live with. Number 2, America is asking its children to pay the price for all of this. I want you to picture something, not a graph, not a number. A child, 7 years old, 2nd grade. She does not know what inflation is. She does not know what a mortgage rate is. She does not know what credit card debt or systemic inequality means. But she knows the feeling of an empty refrigerator the day before payday. She knows what it sounds like when her parents argue about money after she's supposed to be asleep. She knows that there are things other kids have that she cannot ask for. And she has already, at 7 years old, learned not to ask. That knowledge, that early, wordless understanding that something is wrong, that is living inside millions of American children right now. Research on childhood poverty is unambiguous and devastating. It alters brain development. It suppresses academic achievement. It increases lifetime risk of mental illness, physical health problems, and economic hardship. The damage done to a child by poverty does not stay in childhood. It follows them into their teens, their 20s, their 40s, into how they parent their own children. This is generational. This is compounding. This is how inequality reproduces itself. And the part that should make every single person watching this furious. Child poverty at this scale, in a nation this wealthy, is not inevitable. It is not a natural disaster. It is the result of specific choices made by specific people with specific power. These children did not choose this economy. They were just born into it, and they're already paying the price for decisions they had no voice in. Children paying the price. A system rigged against ordinary people. But I saved the most important sign for last, because number 1 is not about your bank account. It's not about debt or housing or jobs. Number 1 is about something that, once it's gone, no amount of money can bring back. And I think deep down, number 1, the thing that held America together is quietly disappearing. Every civilization in history has survived wars, has survived recessions, disasters, famines, plagues, has rebuilt after being nearly destroyed. Do you know what they all had that made rebuilding possible? Not money, not resources. Hope, the belief, however fragile, that tomorrow could be better than today, that the sacrifice was worth something, that the future was still worth building toward. For the first time in modern American history, that belief is failing at a mass scale. Survey after survey, year after year, shows the same result. The majority of Americans, for the first time ever recorded, do not believe the next generation will live better than this one. Let that settle. Not a small pessimistic minority. The majority, the actual majority of people in this country, have looked at the trajectory, at everything we've talked about today, and concluded it's not going to get better for our kids. Young people are choosing not to have children, not because they don't want them, but because they genuinely cannot imagine giving a child this world as a starting point. Workers in their late 50s are not planning retirement. They are planning to work until the day their body says no, because the retirement that was promised to them got quietly taken away and replaced with a 401k, a stock market, and a prayer. Entire towns that had identity, had industry, had a reason for people to stay, are emptying out. The young people leave and they don't come back. Not because they don't love their hometowns, because there is nothing left to come back to. When hope disappears, that is not a symptom of collapse. That is the collapse, not the stock market crashing, not a bank failing. The moment when a critical mass of people stop believing that anything they do will actually change their situation. That is the moment, and we are in it. That is what economic collapse actually looks like. Not fire, not sirens, not a single dramatic moment. It looks like a father who doesn't know how to explain to his son why everything is so hard. It looks like a woman who worked for 30 years and has almost nothing to show for it. It looks like a generation that has quietly, privately, painfully stopped believing in the future. And that, right there, is happening right now. In America, in your city, possibly in your house. So here's where I land after all of that. I'm not going to give you a list of things to do. I'm not going to tell you to budget better, hustle harder, or think positive. Because we both just walked through something that is way bigger than individual choices. What I will say is this. The fact that you watched this far means something. It means you're paying attention. It means you're not willing to just accept the version of reality they keep selling you. And that, honestly, is where everything starts. Not with a policy, not with an election, with people waking up and refusing to be gaslit about what they are living through. Now here's what I want to know from you. We talked about 10 signs today, 10 things that prove this collapse is real and it is already here. But I want to ask you something different. Not what's broken. You already know what's broken. I want you to tell me, what is the one thing, the single first thing, that would have to change before any of this could actually get better? Not what politicians say, not what experts argue about on panels. What do you believe, in your gut, from your own life experience, is the thing that has to change first? Write it in the comments. One thing, be specific, because I want to read every single one. And I genuinely believe that the answers sitting in that comment section might be the most honest, most real conversation happening in America right now. Share this video with one person who needs to hear it, not to scare them, but because they deserve to know they're not imagining it. They're not alone. None of us are.